How mental shortcuts wreck your finances and you keep letting them.
If you think your biggest obstacle to building wealth is the market, inflation, or those suspiciously overpriced lattes, think again. The real enemy is closer than you think. It lives rent-free in your head, wears the mask of intuition, and constantly whispers terrible advice in your ear. Yes, we are talking about your own brain, which, despite being good at keeping you alive, is spectacularly bad at handling money, especially when it comes to long-term decisions that require logic, patience, and emotional control. You know everything investing demands, and your brain actively resists. Welcome to the glorious world of cognitive biases, those sneaky little shortcuts your mind uses to make decisions faster, often at the expense of reason, evidence, or financial survival. Whether you are anchoring to fake discounts, filtering out facts you do not like, panicking at the thought of losing $5, pretending you are smarter than the entire market, or blindly chasing the crowd into a financial sinkhole, your brain is playing tricks on you, and the worst part? You love it. In this series, we will walk through the most common mental traps ruining your money life. One painful, brutally honest bias at a time.
Anchoring bias, because your brain loves bad first impressions.
Let us start with a simple truth. Your brain is lazy. Not fell asleep on the couch lazy, and more like I will cling to the first piece of information I see and refuse to let go. And that, my financially hopeful friend, is how you end up buying a $400 coat on sale for $199 and convincing yourself it was a bargain? Congratulations, you just got played by your own brain. Welcome to the twisted world of anchoring bias. Anchoring bias is the cognitive equivalent of meeting someone at a party who seems cool for 5 minutes and then ignoring every red flag they throw at you afterward. In finance, it means that the first number you see, whether it is a stock price, house value, or salary figure, sticks in your mind like gum on a shoe. Influencing all your decisions after that, it becomes your anchor. And good luck prying it loose. So when you see that a TV is originally $2,499, but now only $1,199, your brain throws a little party. Look at me, it says. I am saving over $1,000. You are not. You are spending $1,199 on something you probably do not need. Based on a made-up number that exists solely to manipulate you, retailers, real estate agents, and car salespeople do not just know about anchoring bias. They worship it like a financial deity. That is why they slap those absurd original prices on every tag. Hoping your brain latches onto them like a golden retriever to a tennis ball, you think Black Friday is about discounts? Please. It is about making up ridiculous original prices and then offering limited time savings that make your wallet cry. That $999 blender was never actually $1,899, but your brain believes it was, so you feel victorious when you click buy now. Think you are immune to anchoring bias because you do not shop for overpriced appliances. That is adorable. Investors fall for it all the time. You see a stock that used to be $150 and now it is $90. Your brain whispers, it is on sale. And like a financial lemming, you rush to buy it, convinced it will return to its real value. But guess what? $150 anchor may be based on absolutely nothing. Irrational hype, fake growth, or a fleeting meme-fueled frenzy. Anchoring bias does not care. It is not here to help you make rational decisions. It is here to trap you in the past, throwing logic out the window while you invest like it is 2021. The housing market, where anchoring bias becomes a full-blown psychological trap wrapped in granite countertops. And do not get me started on auctions. People will literally bid above their budget just because they anchored to the first ridiculous price shouted by someone with a paddle and a suit. At that point, it is not a financial decision. It is a psychological arm wrestling match between your pride and your common sense. Spoiler, pride usually wins, and how you can fight back. Anchoring bias is not going away. It is hardwired into your decision-making, and advertisers exploit it like a hobby. But if you want to avoid financial regret and keep your bank account from becoming collateral damage, here's what you can do. 1. Ignore the first number. Assume it is there to manipulate you, because it is. 2. Do your own research. Look up comparable prices, not just what is presented to you like gospel. 3. Question your gut feeling. Your gut is where pizza goes, not financial wisdom. 4. Wait before buying. Time breaks the emotional spell. If it still makes sense a day later, maybe it is not a trap. Anchoring bias is like a con artist living in your brain rent-free. It shows up uninvited, whispers lies in your ear, and makes you feel like a genius while draining your wallet. Whether you are investing, shopping, or buying a house, the first number you see is often a landmine in disguise. So next time someone tries to impress you with talking that it was $2,000 and now it is only $999, remember, anchoring bias wants you broke, and it is smiling about it. Do not fall for it. Your money deserves better.
Confirmation bias. How to turn investing into an expensive echo chamber.
Let us talk about one of the most entertaining ways to lose money while feeling incredibly smart. Confirmation bias. Yes, that magical mental trick where you only see and hear and believe things that support what you already decided, no matter how dumb that decision actually is. It is not just self-deception. No. It is premium-grade delusion, and when applied to investing, it can turn your portfolio into a dumpster fire of bad ideas. Confirmation bias is the psychological equivalent of surrounding yourself with a cheering squad that tells you every ridiculous idea you have is brilliant. Bought stock in a failing tech company because your cousin's dog groomer mentioned it? Great. Now your brain will go out of its way to find only the articles, videos, and Reddit threads that say it is undervalued and poised to rebound. You will scroll past the 10,000 red flags and cling to that one YouTube guy with 14 subscribers who says, "This stock is the next Amazon," because obviously he knows what he is talking about. Here's the fun part. Confirmation bias is not interested in reality. Your brain wants to be right, not informed. It is like having a personal assistant who deletes all your emails, except the ones that agree with your worst ideas. Bought crypto at the top? Do not worry. Your brain will ignore all the financial experts. And find a Twitter post from someone named @HODL4L1F3 that says we are still early, and you believe it. Why? Because it feels good? Facts? Nope. Data? Who cares? All you want is validation, and your brain is more than happy to serve up a buffet of it. Even if it is sprinkled with delusion and dressed in clown makeup. Confirmation bias thrives on social media. You click on one video about investing in penny stocks, and suddenly your entire algorithm thinks you are the next Wolf of Wall Street. Now you are in a beautiful, handcrafted echo chamber where every post confirms that you are a genius for buying that company that has no revenue, no product, and no hope. Even better, you join an investing group on Facebook, full of people who also bought the same garbage stock. Now, it is a circle of mutual hallucination. Everyone is holding for the moon and quoting made-up statistics from anonymous users. No one is selling. No one is thinking. You are not investing anymore. You are part of a financial cult. Let us be clear. Confirmation bias is not harmless. It costs money, real money. You double down on bad decisions because you refuse to acknowledge any information that might suggest you are wrong. You hold a losing position for months, maybe years, because it will bounce back. You ignore earnings reports, analyst downgrades, and lawsuits because some guy on a forum said, "Just wait." And then, when it finally crashes and burns, you say something like, "No one could have seen this coming." Really? No one? Or did you just plug your ears and scream fake news every time someone tried to warn you? Here is the brutal truth. Confirmation bias feels amazing. It is comforting. It tells you that you are smart, insightful, ahead of the curve. It pats you on the back while whispering, "Everyone else is wrong, but you. You get it." That is why people fall for scams, for bubbles, for meme stocks with zero fundamentals. They are not evaluating information. They're searching for permission to believe what they already want to believe. And the internet is full of people willing to give it to them. Breaking out of confirmation bias is like trying to unfriend your own ego. Painful, but necessary. Here's how to stop turning your portfolio into a flaming disaster. 1. Actively seek opposing views. If you love a stock, go find someone who hates it and actually listen. It might ruin your day, but it might save your money. 2. Use real data, not just vibes. Charts, earnings, fundamentals, actual facts. 3. Avoid fan clubs. If a community is more excited about holding than thinking, leave. 4. Question your motives. Are you investing based on research or on someone agreeing with you? Confirmation bias is not a bug, it is a feature that turns intelligent people into overconfident gamblers wearing blindfolds. In the world of investing, it is not enough to feel smart. You actually have to be smart, which means challenging your beliefs, not cuddling them. So next time you find yourself nodding along with that guy who agrees 100% with your investment thesis, stop. Ask yourself, am I learning something new or just feeding my ego another spoonful of nonsense? Because in the market, reality always wins, and it does not care how right you felt along the way.
Loss aversion. Why losing $1 feels like the end of civilization.
Let us be honest for a second. If you lose $50, it ruins your entire day. Maybe your week. But if you find $50, sure. But does it really stick with you? No. You smile, you move on, and probably spend it on overpriced coffee and regret. And that, my friend, is loss aversion. The psychological disaster where the pain of losing is about twice as strong as the joy of winning. In other words, your brain is a drama queen. Your brain evolved in a world where loss meant death. Lose your spear, you are not eating. Lose your tribe, you are lion food. So it makes sense that loss triggers panic. The problem is, your brain has not evolved past that point, even though loss today usually just means your tech stock dipped 3% because some CEO made a weird tweet. Still, your primal brain reacts like you just got chased out of the cave. Sweaty palms, impulsive decisions, pure financial mayhem. Loss aversion explains why people sell perfectly fine investments at the worst possible time. Market dips a little. Panic mode activated. Suddenly, the long-term investment you researched for weeks is garbage because the red numbers on your screen hurt your feelings. You know how many people sold during the COVID crash in March 2020 and never got back in? Too many. They locked in their losses and missed the rebound, all because losing felt unbearable. Want to know the biggest cause of long-term investing failure? It is not bad stocks. It is bad reactions to temporary losses. You cannot even blame the market. Blame your brain and its ridiculous fear of being down a few bucks. Loss aversion is not just a fun quirk. It is a business model. Casinos, mobile games, and investing apps all rely on it. Ever notice how games will give you free chips, but the second you lose them, you feel the itch to buy more? That is loss aversion. Never spent money in the first place, but now it feels like something was stolen from you. Stock trading apps use bright red graphics, buzzers, and sad little arrows to make sure you feel every dip like a punch to the soul. They do not want you to invest. They want you to react quickly, emotionally, and preferably in a way that increases their transaction fees. Oh, this one is classic. You're holding a losing investment. It has dropped 30%. Do you sell? No. You wait. I will sell when it gets back to what I paid. Why? Because in your mind, selling now would confirm the loss, and your ego simply cannot handle that, so you hold forever. You watch the price drop even further. At some point, you do not even believe it will recover, but you still will not sell. Let me be clear, the market does not care what you paid. The price you bought at is meaningless. But to your brain, it is a sacred number, and anything below that is failure. So you hold not based on strategy, but on raw emotional denial. You would think people make financial decisions based on logic. It would be wrong. Most people make decisions based on avoiding pain. And since losing money hurts way more than gaining money feels good, we sabotage ourselves constantly. Do not take risks. Do not invest. Just keep the money in a sad little savings account earning 0.5% because at least it is safe, right? Except inflation is eating it. But hey, at least you are not losing it. Not visibly anyway. So how do you fight this emotional tyrant? You will never cure loss aversion. It is baked into your brain. But you can learn to outsmart it before it tanks your financial life. 1. Use rules, not feelings. Decide in advance what would make you buy or sell. Then stick to it. 2. Zoom out. Look at the big picture. One bad day does not ruin a 10-year plan, unless you panic. 3. Stop checking constantly. If you look at your portfolio every 5 minutes, you are feeding the anxiety monster. Let it starve. 4. Reframe losses. A drop in value is not the same as losing money unless you lock it in. Breathe. Loss aversion is one of the most powerful and most dangerous biases out there. It whispers in your ear, tells you to sell at the worst time, quit when you should stay, and play it safe when you need to take a calculated risk. And the worst part? It makes you feel smart for doing it, but now you know better. So next time your investments dip a little, ignore the emotional fire alarm going off in your skull. Remember, feeling bad is not the same as doing bad. Unless you act on it, then yes, it becomes bad. It's expensive.
Overconfidence bias.
Overconfidence bias. The psychological equivalent of giving a toddler a steering wheel and saying, "You got this." Except in this case, the toddler is you. The steering wheel is your investment portfolio, and the crash is inevitable. Let us be clear from the start. You are not as smart as you think you are. No offense, it is not a personal attack. It is just science. Studies show that most people rank themselves as above average at everything, including driving, intelligence, and yes, investing. Mathematically, that is not just wrong, it is hilarious. But sure, keep telling yourself you have a good instinct for the market. What could possibly go wrong? Everyone is a genius in a bull market. The stock goes up, you bought it, therefore you are a genius. Never mind that the entire market is rising like bread in an oven. You made the call. You spotted the trend. You knew it would happen. This is where the ego starts lifting off like a SpaceX rocket. Suddenly, you are reading finance blogs with one hand and planning early retirement with the other. Diversification? Nah, risk management. For cowards. You are riding this wave to millionaire status, baby, and the market dips. Hard. And guess what? Now you're just confused. But I did my research, you say, staring at the red numbers like they betrayed you personally. Bull markets make everyone look brilliant. But only bear markets reveal who actually knows what they are doing. Spoiler, it is not you. Overconfidence bias convinces you that your gut feeling is some kind of superpower. You have no background in finance, economics, or statistics, but something about that company feels right, and that is apparently good enough. Imagine applying this logic to surgery. I do not know how to operate, but I have a good feeling about this scalpel. That would be insane. But in investing, people do it every day and call it intuition. Listen, your gut is great for deciding between tacos and pizza. It is not great for handling complex financial decisions with thousands of variables. But overconfidence bias does not care. It puts your gut in the driver's seat and throws your actual knowledge in the trunk. Nothing inflates your ego like early success. You bought one hot stock, it exploded, and now you think you have cracked the code. You start giving advice, posting on forums, judging others. You become that guy, the one at parties bragging about his 200% return on some obscure stock, conveniently forgetting to mention it was pure luck. Here is the dirty little secret. Even professionals get lucky sometimes. The difference is, they usually know it. You, on the other hand, think your one victory means you are the next Oracle of Omaha. You are not. You just got lucky. And now you are about to let that win drive you straight into over-leveraged, under-researched, ego-fueled disaster. Overconfidence bias has another fun trick. It makes you blind to risk. You do not just underestimate the possibility of things going wrong, you basically deny it exists. After all, why would anything bad happen when you are clearly so good at this? You start betting big, concentrated positions, margin trading, crypto with a side of options. It is not investing anymore. It is financial roulette in a suit. And when it all crashes down, you act surprised. Shocked even. I had no idea this could happen, you say, wiping the ashes of your account off your phone screen. No idea, really. Or did you just believe you were untouchable? If you want to survive long-term in the financial world, you are going to have to do something uncomfortable. Admit you do not know everything. Shocking, I know. But humility is the antidote to overconfidence bias. Here are a few ways to keep your inner financial superhero in check. 1. Use data, not vibes. Just because you feel good about something does not mean it is a good investment. Number 2. Have a plan and know. Buy low, sell high is not a plan. That is a fantasy. 3. Diversify, because putting all your eggs in one brilliant basket is a fantastic way to get wrecked. 4. Listen to opposing views, especially the ones that make you uncomfortable. That is usually where the truth lives. 5. Track your results honestly. Every trade, every loss, every win. You might discover you are not the genius you thought you were, and that is a good thing. Look, it is fine to feel confident about your financial decisions. But when confidence becomes overconfidence, you are not investing anymore. You are gambling with a smug grin. Markets are unpredictable. Luck is temporary. And no one, I repeat, no one is always right. So if you want to actually build wealth instead of just feeding your ego until it explodes, drop the superhero act. You are not Buffet, and that is okay, because even he knows better than to believe his own hype.
Herd mentality.
So, you saw everyone talking about a stock online. Your cousin bought in. The guy on TikTok was screaming to the moon. Your group chat lit up. CNBC covered it. Reddit exploded. Without doing a shred of actual research, you clicked buy because, hey, everyone else is doing it. Welcome to herd mentality, where independent thought goes to die and your money joins the collective suicide pact of financial FOMO. Herd mentality is when people blindly follow the behavior of the masses, usually under the impression that if everyone is doing it, it must be right. You know, like lemmings marching off a cliff or people rushing to buy toilet paper during a pandemic. It is not logic. It is not analysis. It is panic disguised as confidence, and it is how bubbles are born and portfolios die. In finance, herd mentality is the reason bubbles inflate until they pop and leave everyone sobbing into their brokerage statements. You think you are smart? You are not. You are just early to the stampede. Here is the most delicious irony. People who follow the herd think they are being smart. Look at me, you say. I got in at $92. Everyone else is buying now. I am ahead of the game, except by the time the herd shows up, the smart money has already left the building, quietly cashing out while you chant diamond hands with the rest of the financial cult. Newsflash. If you heard about the stock on the news or from a viral tweet, you are already late. You are not early. You are not savvy. You are the exit liquidity. Herd mentality thrives on fear of missing out FOMO. The minute you see others making money, your brain goes full toddler in a candy store. Why am I not in on this? Why am I missing out? I need to act now. And so you do. You buy high, then it dips. Then you panic. Then you sell. Then it bounces back. Rinse. Repeat. Your account balance becomes a roller coaster, and the only consistent thing is your regret. You are not investing. You are chasing ghosts, reacting to movement instead of planning ahead. It is emotional whiplash masquerading as strategy. Want a perfect example of herd mentality? Look no further than meme stocks and cryptomanias. Someone posts a rocket emoji, the internet loses its mind. And people start investing their rent money in some project run by a guy named Chad in his mom's basement. You do not know the fundamentals. There are no earnings, business model, but the herd is running, and you do not want to be left behind. Then it crashes, and people act shocked. How could this happen? Really? You put your money in a coin named after a dog, and now you are surprised it collapsed? Herd mentality does not care what makes sense. It only cares what feels urgent. It is a financial stampede built on blind faith, fake confidence, and the desperate need to not feel left out. Let us be real. Following the herd feels safe. It gives you social proof. Everyone else is doing it, so it cannot be that bad. You feel less alone. You feel like part of something. But just because a lot of people are doing something does not make it smart. A lot of people once thought smoking was healthy too. Mass agreement does not equal truth. It often just means a lot of people are equally uninformed. Also, your brain hates being wrong alone. If you lose money and everyone else did too, it feels better. Like a group therapy session where nobody wins. But hey, at least you all failed together. The only way to avoid the cliff is to stop running with the herd in the first place. Here is how. 1. Pause before acting. If you feel a sudden urge to buy because everyone is talking about it, that is not a buy signal. That is a red flag. 2. Do your own research. Yes, it takes effort. Welcome to adulthood. 3. Have a strategy. Know why you are investing. If your answer is because it is trending, go sit in the corner and think about what you have done. 4. Embrace boredom. The best investments are often boring. If your portfolio feels like a roller coaster, it is not thrilling. It is dangerous. 5. Be okay being alone. Sometimes the smartest move is standing still while everyone else runs off a cliff. Get comfortable with that. Herd mentality is seductive. It offers the illusion of safety and the comfort of the crowd. But in reality, it leads to overpaying, panicking, and selling at the worst times. You end up doing the exact opposite of what smart investors do, and all because you were afraid of missing out. Here is a better idea. Stop following the noise. Tune out the hype. Make your own decisions. Yes, it is harder. Yes, it is lonelier. But it is also a lot less expensive. Because at the end of the day, being right alone is better than being wrong together. Especially when your bank account is the one paying for the mistake.
The herd is loud, but it is usually wrong.
At the end of the day, your brain is not a brilliant financial machine. It is a circus clown in a business suit juggling fire over a pit of your hard-earned cash. Every shortcut it takes is less about making you rich, and more about keeping you comfortably delusional while your portfolio quietly bleeds out. You can keep pretending your gut has Warren Buffett on speed dial, but deep down you know the truth. Your brain is not guiding you to wealth. It is marching you straight into the casino with a blindfold and a grin. So congratulations. You now understand why you keep tripping over the same financial landmines like it is a hobby. The real question is whether you will do anything about it. Will you fight back against your biases, or will you keep donating to Wall Street's retirement fund while telling yourself you are learning valuable lessons? Either way, the market does not care. Reality always cashes the check, and it has a sick sense of humor.